Well, hello everybody. It's Mike, KO4PDI, the ham fun guy. How are you doing today? I've been dodging lightning bolts. I haven't been able to do much of anything on the birds today, although I did make a bunch of contacts on AO91 earlier today, which was a lot of fun. As some of you know, I got my ham license in 2021, and early on in my expedition into this wonderful hobby, somebody told me I could talk to satellites. And I was like, what? What do you mean talk to, who's up there? Oh, you can even talk to astronauts on the International Space Station. I went, what? No, really? Well, this is something I loved. I've been playing make-believe astronaut my whole frickin' life. Even me and my brothers were little kids, we'd hang the quilts off the side of our bunk bed so it was dark on the bottom bunk, and we'd lay on our backs like we were in the Apollo capsule going to the moon. We'd fake moon landings and walking in space, and oh my God, it was so much fun. And I vicariously lived through astronauts. One of the greatest things was I got to tell that to Jim Lovell. Jim Lovell and Mark Cunningham? Yeah, Mark Cunningham. Walt Cunningham, who was the first astronaut to fly the new Apollo spacecraft after the Apollo 1 fire, where his job was to figure out how long it took the astronauts to die. And while I was at Kennedy Space Center when they opened the Astronaut Hall of Fame, they had a panel discussion, and I got to stand up and tell these guys how I vicariously lived my life through their exploits out in space. And the funniest thing was, at one point, Walt Cunningham looked at Jim Lovell and said, nobody would even know who you were if it wasn't for Ron Howard putting you in a movie about your biggest screw up. I just cracked up laughing. They're like little boys still. They're older. They're in their 80s and 70s, and older than 70. They're in their 80s. Some of them are almost 90, and it was absolutely hilarious to see them busting each other's chops like that. So that was a wonderful experience. So I was hooked on satellites very early on. I'm wearing a Amateur Radio on the International Space Station shirt. This is for celebrating the 40 years that amateur radio has been in space. Amateur radio has actually been in space longer, not on a consistent basis, but since it was on the International Space Station, it's been on there 40 years. So that's how I'm going through all this, because one of the first times ever I'm streaming live on TikTok as well as X, Facebook, and YouTube. And we got my buddy Rogers in the room. Say hi to Roger. Roger's a great guy from Mount Dora area of Florida, where I went to him last year for field day. You can see that video in the intro on my page when you go to my YouTube page. So I'm seeing there's a lot of people joining on TikTok. I'm really happy for you guys. You guys, I can't see your chat normally, but I'll be able to see it on the window in front of me. So why am I here? I got so into satellites, I started learning everything there was to learn about satellites. I spent buku amounts of money doing things like building this in my backyard, a 50-foot, oh, got the wrong picture up. Let's get the right picture. Putting that in my backyard. That is a 50-foot tower that I have in my backyard. And on top, we have a Yaesu 5500 rotator, which is horizontal and azimuth adjusting. And you can see that. And that tracks the satellites through the area. Right now, I just got a message on my phone that lightning was just seen in the area. So, yeah, glad I put in a bunch of ground rods and a lot of heavy-duty ground wire on that tower. So anyway, what I'm going to do today, we're going to talk about SSTV. Why are we talking about SSTV now? We're talking about SSTV now because, let me get to the screen I want to get to. No, we don't want that audio. Let's go to my Ham Fun page, and I will get this on the screen for you guys to see. Anyway, the International Space Station from time to time runs Oh my God, we got Queensland, Australia here. Holy moly, that's a long way. You're like 11,000 miles away from me. Wow, good to see you. Wow, Queensland, a good way to start my workday, listening to you and your adventures with the ISS. I'll tell you an additional adventure I had with the ISS. Up until field day, I had 7 confirmed contacts with astronauts on the International Space Station. 5 were with Kjell Lindgren on multiple passes over months, his whole time up there, and 2 were from Woody Hoburg. Well, we can add Johnny Kim to the list. I got him on field day, the Sunday of field day. I got him on the ISS, which was pretty freaking cool. And the video of that is in my channel. You could see it. And a thrill to make an astronaut contact on field day along with you. Thanks for recording it so we have proof for the other club members. Yeah, and Roger, what I would highly suggest is send Bruce Hutner a QSO card with all the information. And you could find that out on the ariss.org page. I'll show you that page in a second. As a matter of fact, let me go to it now. ariss.org. Let's go to... Let's get this on the screen. All right. This is the amateur radio on the International Space Station page. Hayden, not that Hayden. Hey Hayden, how you doing? Yeah, okay, good. Roger says he sent the QSO card. Good. If you go over here, let's go to the home page first. This is the home page. If you scroll across here, these are drop-down menus. You can see them drop down. General contacts right here. Scroll down to QSL card right there. Click on it. This is what the card looks like when you get it, the front and the back. And then right here you can see Bruce Hutner. I'm going to email him because I have a little something I want to add. I want to verify which astronaut it was. I think it was Johnny Kim. Not sure, so I'm going to ask him in an email. I already mailed out my QSL card. Okay, so get back to the point, Mike. Why are we here? We are here because I so love doing satellites that I fell into it hook, line, and sinker, and I had to learn everything. And there was no place that kind of brought it all together. There was nobody streaming satellite passes live, so you really couldn't see how it was done. The best you were able to do was listen to other licensed amateurs on there and how they did their QSOs. Most of the time, the International Space Station has a crossband repeater. A crossband repeater, you transmit into it on 2 meters, and it resends your signal out on 70 centimeters. That is called crossband repeating. They have a Kenwood 710 on the ISS with a power supply by Whiskey 5 Delta India Delta. Lou McFadden built that power supply that's on the International Space Station. And if you watch me before, you go back to my videos, you can actually see pictures of that actual power supply, the second one that he built, the duplicate. So I got into it and I started doing this. So let's talk about what is SSTV. A simple way to describe SSTV, it's a fax over a radio. That's it. I used to work for Verizon. I was a system technician, and I worked on any data line or any line that went through more than one central office. So like your home phone, your plain old telephone service is wired to the CO, which is then connected to trunk lines and everything that takes your calls to wherever you're calling. If you're calling California or you call in New York, it routes your call. Well, that's plain old telephone service. That was not what I worked on. I worked on one that if you were in California and you had an office in Florida and you wanted to connect your computer in California to the computer in the office in Florida, I would work on a line, a data line, that would transmit from California to the local station, from the local station to another station, to another station, to another station, to my station here in Florida, then out to the customer. We did that on fiber, we did that on copper, we did it with digital lines, we did it with analog lines. When you're working with SSTV, it literally sounds just like an analog data signal. And what I mean by that, have you ever picked up the phone when we did dial-up and heard the sounds your computer was making? That's analog data. The way analog data works is the value of whatever it's sending is controlled by the volume and the tone. So you have tones that go high, low, back and forth. And then you have volume levels of that. And by sending different volume levels and different tones in the order that you read them off of the image, you're sending one line at a time. It comes across like a fax machine of data that gets printed out. That is what slow scan TV is. TV, it's not television because it's not a moving image, it's a still image. But it's done by slowly scanning all the lines of the image and transmitting them with audio over the air, where another computer or something decodes that and makes the picture. Let me show you a couple I've done already. These are from a couple of years ago. I got my lapel mic on so you can still hear me while I'm walking over here. I just knocked over my light. It's okay, we don't need that right now. All right, so here's this was NE1SS Lunar Exploration 2009 to present. This was number 8 of 12. 8 of 12 images that I downloaded. That is one line at a time. There are lines that go from the top to the bottom. And as it decodes, it does each line one at a time, like a fax machine. Here's another one. This was 12 of 12, same expedition. And there are all the astronauts that were on the ISS at the time that they did this. And this was over Christmas and New Year's of 2022, I believe. All right, so that's what slow scan TV images look like if you decode them well. All right, somebody who's really good at doing that is Captain Don, Whiskey 8 Charlie Papa Tango. And Captain Don does it with a handheld, and at the same time he has a handheld, he has a decoding program on his phone that's listening to the sound coming over the handheld. That's one way to do it. Anybody can download this. You don't have to have a license to listen. So if you're just a kid that wants to experiment and try to read this, any radio that can handle the frequency, which is, let's just check that, make sure I'm not giving out bad information. On the ISS, this is going to be on the, I think it's 145.800. Let's see, it's loading. VHF imaging, yes, 145.800 is the frequency. So, as you know, you can do, you can compensate for Doppler. You can do all that with an HT. All right. Wow, there's a bunch of people on TikTok sharing this and everything. Boy, it's good. So many people are joining. Thank you for joining, everybody, on TikTok. This is one of my first ever lives on TikTok, so I hope you enjoy this. So you don't need a ham radio license to decode these images. Think about that. So you can download a program I'm going to show you in a minute, MMSSTV, and hook up a radio or record it on an HT or something, record the audio, and then play it back for MMSSTV, and you could do it that way. Like I said, you don't need a license. So it's really good to know, right? How you doing there? Good to see you. A bunch of people on YouTube, a bunch of people on TikTok. Boy, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming around and checking it out, and I hope you're enjoying this. For you guys on TikTok who've never seen me live before, I'm wearing a 40-year anniversary shirt from ARISS. I'm talking about ARISS because they're the ones sponsoring this slow scan TV thing that's going to start Monday. If we looked at the actual, let me get the dates that it's going. Okay. Here you can see this is what ARISS released. You've seen this in a bunch of places. By the way, there's a great video by Randy, who you see him on Ham Nation all the time. He does a lot of slow scan TV stuff. He has a very good detailed video on what is going on with SSTV. So the link will be in the description. You can go check out his video too when you're done with this. All right, so if we look at this announcement here, SSTV Series 28 from the 14th to the 20th of July. You are going to have Apollo pictures downloaded, and also Space Lab, which was on the... yeah, I know the app for the phone. We'll get to that. This is Space Lab 2. These are the pictures that you're going to be having coming down. There's 12 images altogether. Here it says right here, the series of 12 images will be transmitted from the ISS on 145.800 megahertz using PD120 encoding. I'll show you on SSTV how to get that on your screen. It's scheduled to start on the 14th at 9:15 UTC, which is 5:15 a.m. Eastern Time, which is where I am. And then it'll complete it on Sunday at 1800 UTC, which is 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's where we are right now. Let's see. I am old. N2FET. Yes, this is true. Anyone know the app for the iPhone? Yes, there are a bunch of them, but I will point out. I'll start out with the iPhone right now. Let me see. It's called CQSSTV. I have that on my screen right now. We're not decoding anything because there's nothing coming over, but let me see if I can get my Let's View to work, if I can mirror. Let's View Windows. Bingo, there it is. Now all I got to do is get it on the screen. Okay. All right, let's put that over here. Let's View. Here we go. Right here. All right, so this is the app. Let me unlock that so I can move it and resize it. What you're looking at on the screen right now is the actual app on my iPhone. Right now it's set up for SC2-180, and that's not what we're going to do. We're going to use PD120, so that's where you select that, PD120. And then it automatically, as it's listening to the slow scan TV image coming over, it decodes it on your screen, and then you could, when it's done, you could save it to your images. So the app is called CQSSTV. See the top left there? The top left on the screen right there, that's CQSSTV with like a test pattern behind it. That's the app right there. All right? So that is the app for the iPhone, and that is a very good app, by the way. I used that for many, many years. You just open it, put it by your radio where the audio is coming through, and it listens to the audio and decodes the images. That's something for you to remember, for you to try out if you want to do it that way. Other ways that you can do it, you can use an HT and use that app next to the HT. Oh, there's my notes on the screen. Let me get them out of the way. Move that over here. All right. So, CQSSTV. You got that? That was, Wayne was asking that. So now you know, Wayne. CQSSTV. It's free, too. I don't think you have to pay for it. All right. So where was I before I was so rudely interrupted? Yeah, I wasn't rude. You weren't rudely interrupting me. I'm telling you when and where this is going to be, so you can see where it is. What's really great is, let me get it on the screen. ARISS is collecting these images, and here's the page. I believe I put a link to this also in the description of this video. This is where you would go. You would put your name right here. You could put I'm a formal or informal educator, if you are, formal or informal educator, high school level, undergraduate, I'm a student, high school level or lower. So I just say I'm a student, high school. You put your call sign here. You put FRAM2 unique team ID. We didn't do that. That was a different thing. Put your email address here. Select a region. So in my case, I'd be in North America, right? Detailed location. You put my grid square here. Mine Echo Lima 99. Date and time using UTC time that I got the image. And then I hit choose file, and I take the file I downloaded, the picture, and put it on here and send it up. And when you're done, you can go to the SSTV images. Let's see. Let's see. No, that's not what I want. That's Wikipedia. Here, main gallery page. This is what I want to look up. If we go over here, I'm going to hit find all submissions by KO4PDI. All right, and I hit search. And what's really cool, these are all images that I downloaded from the ISS at different times. And you could see them all right here, every one I did. And I upload them. Now, they really want you to upload them, even if you get a crappy one, like this one over here is like a lot of noise on it. They want that. Here it is again, same image with a lot of noise. But then if you look around, you'll see the same image in other places, like right here. It's nice and clear. It's the same image. But they want the messed up ones because they know the date and the time, and they know whether or not they were transmitting all right and what the propagation was that we were picking this up with, whether I was on a 5-degree pass or a 10-degree pass or a 70-degree pass. They want to know that, so then they know how good the radios on the ISS are doing. By the way, if anybody has a question, put it in the chat. I got to keep checking the TikTok chat. That's mostly, let's see, Mike Miller says hi, November 4, Victor Gulf says good evening. A lot of people joining on TikTok, a lot of people joining. That's really nice. And people on TikTok, give me a thumbs up, a like, whatever you do to make me look good. Please feel free to give me gifts. I don't know what that does, but you can. Yeah, Roger. I think an overlooked opportunity for technicians is that they can play radio with satellites. Warning: it can be addictive. Yeah, Roger knows. He's got a 5500 rotor too, so yeah, he gets it. But yeah, this is the thing. Slow Scan TV is not limited to ham radio operators. Anyone can download these images from the International Space Station between the 14th and the 20th. When it passes over. When does it pass over? Aha! You got to know when it passes over. We'll get to that. If I don't get to that, remind me, I'll go back to it. Okay. So, let's go back over here. Let's get off this screen. I'll leave that screen there. We're going to turn that off anyway. Where's my display capture? Wasn't there. Did I put it under this screen? Nope, that's my Geochron, FT8 screen. That's where I put it. Okay. All right, this program you're looking at now, this one right here, this is called MMSSTV. What makes this so nice is you can hook this up to your radio. In my case, I'm using a 9700. The steps to set this up are so simple. Here, I'll show you right now. You go up here, option, set up MMSSTV. Oh, darn, I can move it over. Hold on. All right, so this screen will pop up when you hit set up MMSSTV. This is the most important screen right now. You see this line here? IC 9700, IC 9700, the codec. This is for in, receive, and this is for transmit. Now, in this particular situation, we're not going to be transmitting. We're just going to be receiving. So what you do is you put your sound card for your radio, if you have a 9700 like I do, or you can have any radio that you have an audio out. or tone out, that you can hook that up to your computer. And then right here is where you tell your computer what sound card to listen to. You're telling MMSSTV what sound card to listen to. Okay, that's all you got to do. Now, the most important thing is on the rest of this is irrelevant. Don't even look at all this. It doesn't matter. If you were, that's under miscellaneous tab. Transmitting, you would put your COM port of your radio. In this case, it's COM port 4, but I'm not going to put that there because I'm not going to be transmitting. To receive, this is all set up to receive. Basically, nothing I had to do here. I just check all these boxes here, and I leave it at that, and I tell it OK. Now, what you're seeing on the top right, the orange thing, that's the audio coming in from the radio. Well, right now, there's nothing on the radio. I'm not listening to SSTV right now. But if I was, you would see it on here, up in this top right side. Also, it will decode the image right here. So in my case, what I am going to be doing using the SAT box, my rotator, and my 9700 radio is I will set my radio up to stay on that frequency through my SAT box. My SAT box is right here. This is the output for the SAT box. So anyone using a SAT box to capture these images, this is what you will do. So first thing you do is you select Mode VHF Imaging. Highlight that. If I had the radio on, you would see the radio listening on that 145/800. All right, so now you put that on there. Then you go over to here and you tell it continuous. You click continuous. Turns green. See it turn green? That means the SAT box will do nothing but look for the mode VHF imaging frequency every time the ISS comes over. So we have a 0.55 degree pass coming up now. At 8:30 tonight, we have a 50 degree pass. All right, you see that? So if I just leave it like this, every time the ISS comes up, it'll come on. Now, two things you got to do with your radio. Turn off your noise reduction. Turn off any amplifiers or preamps. Turn them off. I found that out the hard way, that the preamp on causes a ghost, so you get double images. So no preamp, no noise reduction, no noise blanker, no nothing. You want the bare minimum. You turn the squelch all the way open. Open it all the way so that it doesn't cut out anything. And believe it or not, you will capture these images very low in the sky on a 9700. Now, all right, people are liking my live. Thank you on TikTok. I hope it works out good. All right, so now once you do that, once you set this up, not to do anything but listen to this, and you click the word continuous, leave it alone. Don't touch it again. Make sure your radio's on. And for fun, sometimes I turn on the record. But if I don't turn on the record, what's going to happen is MMSSTV is going to hear, as soon as the radio starts receiving a signal, and as soon as it hears that, it's going to start printing out the picture and storing it on my computer. That's how MMSSTV works. Good. I'm glad you got it, Wayne. Excellent. So remember that. You don't even need a ham radio license to listen. If you're not going to transmit, you're just going to listen. There's no license necessary. So you have any radio that can pick up the frequency 145.800, you can download these images. Now, if you have a Yagi on a tower like I do and it tracks the satellite through the sky, it comes in really handy. You know, you can get them every time. The way that it takes 2 minutes to transmit an entire image. Now, picture this. The ISS is constantly moving around the Earth in different orbits, and every hour and a half, approximately, it comes around again. So that, like the pass that we're going to have at 8:30 is going to last. Let's see, it's going to rise at 8:30, and it's probably going to set about 10 minutes later. So you figure you got 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off, 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off, 2 minutes on. So maybe you'll get 3 images, but when it comes up and you first start hearing it, you might be in the middle of an image. So you'll have to wait till that ends, and then there'll be 2 minutes of nothing, and then 2 minutes of the next image. Might not be the same image, but leave your system running. It will record them all. All right. Now let's take a quick look at MMSS TV. We've been doing this a half hour already. All right, MMSS TV. Let's go to this screen here. This is MMSS TV, but how do you get MMSS TV? Well, you go to this page here. This is Hamsoft. And if we scroll down, right here, downloads, MMSSTV113A.exe. That is the easy one. That is an easy one. You right-click on that and save target as, or you can click on it, and it should open up a window to save the file. Oh, now you're not going to do it, computer? There, say. Let's copy a link address and do another window, since it didn't want to go. Paste and go. Here we go. Yeah, I like this. What's new in version 112? Huh. Where is it? You see, it basically looks the same as what I got. Saw that. Anyway, you go over this screen here. You click on the full version, which is 2.5 megahertz, but this hasn't been changed since 2010. This has been the same program. It has not been updated, but you don't need it to be updated. It works just fine the way it is. KG2 Mike. Hey everyone, I'll have my 705 set up for this event. Too bad I don't have a nice beam set up to have unattended while at work. Well, sorry about that, but yeah, but it'll work. That'll work. The 705 you could do this on. You could do it on any radio that picks up 145.800. Any radio that does that, you could do this on. So keep that in mind. So you download MMSS TV, you install it on your computer, and that's how it looks when you run it. And then these images on the bottom, those are images I made. So when I go on HF and share slow scan TV images, these are the ones I send. When I do a CQ, CQ, SSTV, KO4 PDI on the bottom. This is to call, I get somebody that responds to me, I respond to them with a signal report. And that's what you can do when you transmit SSTV. But we're not talking about that tonight. We're just talking about receiving SSTV. At any time you guys got questions, give me a shout out. So we looked at CQ SSTV for the iPhone. They do make decoders for Android phones. I'm not up on that right now, so I don't really know what the programs are. But if you just go to the Google store or someplace, type in SSTV or slow scan television, you can find out. All right. So there you have it. That is MMSS TV. Now, let's check out our TikTok chat. Boy, there's people joining like crazy. ISS just been over my house. Yeah, well, it's great, man. I know, it just went. It was a very low pass for me. It was only about not even a 5-degree pass. It was like 3-degree pass. So I wasn't able to get to it, but that's pretty cool. At 8:30, I have another one, and you have 2 Baofangs. Okay. Granddad M on TikTok is telling me he has 2 Baofangs. You can use a Baofang to listen to the slow scan TV, but have a phone with an app or something right next to it to record it and possibly decode the image for you. It can be done. Doing satellites on 2 Baofangs works, not well, but it works. Where I might get 8 contacts on a pass, you're going to get 2, maybe 1. because you're not going to be able to get in with 5 watts. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't try. It's a great way to learn. I've experimented with 2 Baofengs myself and an Arrow 2 antenna without the duplexer. One Baofeng hooked up to one antenna, one Baofeng hooked up to the other. And that works. But what normally happens is the Baofengs have spurless emissions on harmonics, and the third harmonic of the 2-meter band is right on where the 70 centimeter signal is. So it usually doesn't work very well. You won't have full duplex is what I'm saying. But you can do it. It works. And you can do it. I choose not to do that. I choose to use the absolute best I can get my hands on. So we talked about that. Search N2FET and look what happens. Did you get your new call sign? Is that what you're trying to tell me? N2FET. Otis! I hate this kid. N2FET was the call sign he was given by the FCC. He got his extra. Now he has a AE4IT. Good for you, man. I'm glad for you, Otis. I'm so happy for you that you got your extra. And, yeah, I know. Look what happens. Should I show this to everybody? There we go. Here's Otis's page. His N2FET was his original call sign. By the way, everybody, he's 12. All right? He's 12 years old. He's an extra. That's why I hate him. Bastard. I'm kidding, Otis. I'm really happy for you. Boy, you jumped right into the extra pool. I'm good for you, man. And I give you credit. It's not an easy test. But then again, you're young. You got a mind like a magnet, probably. You can remember everything. All right, so a big hand for Otis. Yay! Don, N5, SKT. Yes, the best flex radio with 2 transceivers. By the way, Mike, you should try, what is it, Young? Which is MMSS TV with a better interface. Really? What's it called? I should try YONIQ. Let's look it up. Let's see where that is. YON. Let's do a search for that. Uh-huh. It's on the Hamsoft website, huh? I'm sorry, that looks exactly the same as MMSS TV. It looks the same. What's I gotta study this. I never heard of this, but let me show you what I'm looking at. This is the software he's talking about. I don't know. That looks very similar. Not that. Where did I put it? To that. That looks very similar. Oh well. We'll see. I'll look into it. I'll play with it. I got time. It doesn't start till Monday, and it goes for 6 days, so I might experiment with this one too. Does it do something like make your thumbnails easier or something? I use Young. It's the same, but has a better GUI. Okay. I don't know that that's going to make that much of a difference, getting slow scan TV images. Slow scan TV images are pretty freaking basic. It's audio converted into visual. Like a lot of people don't know it. Like I said, I worked for the phone company for 37 years. When you talk on a telephone, whether it's your cell phone or a home landline or whatever, what's happening is your audio is being encoded to something that can be transmitted over radio, which is what a phone does. It transmits your audio over a radio in here that's connected to the cell towers. They go out to the cell towers, to the person you're calling, and their phone decodes your audio. They're not actually hearing your voice. They're hearing the facsimile of your voice. Thus, they were called faxes because they took a picture, converted it to audio with different lines of resolution, and sent that out over the air and were decoded at the other side. That is a facsimile. It's not an actual picture of it. It's something like it that was made from it, but it's not the same thing. Same with your voice on a telephone. Same with your voice through fiber optics. It converts it to light. And the light is different shades and it's different angles based on the frequency it's on. So that is how your voice moves from place to place by being converted and then deconverted and converted again. And that's how it works. So very good to know. Mike, you agree with Don. I guess that means you're using Yang too also? Is that what you're telling us? All right. Anybody have any questions? I should also try the Flex Radio, full duplex, 2 meter 440, and then you can put the fourth slice on 14 to 30 HF SSTV. Man, you're complicating things so much, Don. I agree. A Flex Radio is probably really nice. I ain't got the money for that. Not only that, I want a 7610 first before I go to Yaesu, although that Optimum is looking pretty interesting. The Yaesu Optimum, I've been watching a lot of videos on it. A lot of people trying different things, doing different things with it. It looks like a really nice radio as a 100-watt radio. But now they came out with separation cables, which means you'll be able to do it mobile in your car. And if I put that radio in my car, I don't need my 891 and I don't need my FTM 300. I could take both of those out of my car and just put the Optimum in my car. And I'll have HF and I'll also have 2 meter, 70 centimeter and wires X and all the other fun stuff. So yeah. All right. So what I've made notes. Let me just check my notes. Hold on. Okay. The different programs. We talked about that. Different radios you could use. You don't even need a ham radio. All you need is a radio that can pick up 145.8. If you have a HF, what do they call it, shortwave radio that has the 2 meter band in it, you can download these images on that. All right. So what'll happen is after you get the image, you go to the AMSAT website. And on the AMSAT website, where am I looking here? All right, on the AMSAT website, right here, you could submit your images. Let's go up here, back to home. Educational, external controls, general contacts. Here we go. Upcoming SSTV events. You want to contact that? There it is right there. Click on that. Here's the upcoming events. June 25th, 2020, 26th, 2025. That's already happened. May 5th, 2025. April 11th. Wow, they don't have this one. That's weird. I highly suggest to go over here and donate to ARISS. They provide all this stuff. It's a what is it? A tax-free organization. You get deducted from your taxes if you make a contact with them or you donate a donation to them. Help them out a little bit. That's about it. So anyway, here's the incident that's going to happen. Yeah, that's cool. Get rid of the 891 and the FTM. Well, I wouldn't get rid of the 891. That'll go in a go box for Parks on the Air. Robot 360 or Robot 36. That's another app for your iPhone you can use to decode slow scan TV images. Remember that. Anybody got any questions? Come on now. Let's check the TikTok window out since I can't get that chat on my thing, but I'm still live on TikTok. Woohoo! That's really nice. This is the first time I'm doing live on TikTok. So anybody got any questions over on TikTok? Let me know. Come on back now. Let me know what you got. and I'll try to help you out. I do this every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'll be on here. Now, the last 2 weeks I haven't been on here because I've been sick, and nobody knows what I got. And that's it. This guy's got a 7300 for a Go box plus a 705. Yeah, I have a 705 that's in a Armalock case with a battery that goes into a Faraday bag, and that's my protection in case we get an EMP attack. I'll have a radio that works, which I probably won't be able to use because the minute I key the mic, the military will be on me like white on rice, trying to find out who I am, like am I a spy or something. So yeah, that read the book Going Home. You'll understand what I'm talking about. That was a great book. Oh, intense book, stressful. I had to put it down. I had the second book. I listened to the second book also. Anyway, it's a hard book to read. It's tough. It's rough. It's dramatic. But boy, you'll get a Faraday bag after reading this book. You'll get a Faraday bag at least, maybe some MREs and some other stuff to keep you alive in case of a major electromagnetic pulse attack. Really cool book, cool story. Jason, Ham Radio 2.0, turned me on to that, and I fell for it, man. I loved it. It was fantastic. All right, we are coming up on almost an hour. Let me just check YouTube. Yeah, we have been on. We got 11 people watching. We've been streaming for 52 minutes. So if you got any questions, come to me now and ask me. I will also probably stream a couple of these passes. Right now, the ISS is coming by super early in the morning and super late in the evening. So it's like 4 o'clock in the morning it passes me, and that's when the really good passes are. There's maybe 2 really good passes a day. Sometimes, depending on the times, I might get a 20-degree pass, a 30-degree pass, and then a 15-degree pass, one right after the other. But lately, in the position the ISS is, it comes over early in the morning. Like if you look at the geochron, right now, what time is it now? It is 6:46. So it's 6:47 right now. And you see the orbit of the ISS, the yellow line that you watch going right over my head. So that's going to pass me. The dotted line is where it's going to go next. What will happen is the next dotted line will be basically right over my head. So I will have a super high pass right over me, but it's going to be like at 8:30 tonight. And I think for tonight I'll probably get on it because I haven't been on it enough. So I will get on it tonight. Oh, I hear footprints. I hear the puppy. Ho, ho, ho. Goldie came to say hi. Goldie had a little traumatic experience today. Come here, baby. Up here. Up here. Come on. Come on, say hi to everybody. Goldie had a traumatic experience today. Well, we went to the dog park, and her and, what's his name? God, he's a Rottweiler. Big-ass Rottweiler. He's got to weigh 100 pounds. And she weighs 47 pounds. The two of them were hot, which often happens with dogs in the summer. So what do they do to cool up? They dig a hole, and they get down in the dirt. Well, this one here was so tired. She was on her side, and her paws were doing this, digging the hole to cool off. It was so hot out. And the Rottweiler got in there too. So the two of them were rolling around. They were covered in mud and dirt. And I was like, oh man. So I've been trying to get her to learn how to swim in my pool. And I took her someplace. I was going to give her a bath, but they weren't ready to go yet. So I didn't have use of the bath facilities. So I brought her back home, and I said, what am I going to do? I'm going to bring her in my shower and try to wash her in the shower, or what am I going to do? And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick her up. I'm going to go in the pool with her. So I carried her up, got her in the water, and she panicked, and she never calmed down. I did everything to try to get her to calm down. She would not calm down. She was just in this panic mode. So panicked that when I was still in the water and she had gotten out and I went to take the leash off her, she growled at me, like pissed off that I made her go in the pool. But boy, she's clean now. She's nice and clean now. No more mud on her. That was our day today. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, remember you can always email me, ko4pdi@1791.com. ko4pdi@1791.com. Send me an email with any questions you have. If you're trying some of this stuff and you're having issues setting it up, let me know. I can walk you through it over the phone, or we could do a FaceTime or something like that, and I can help you out. If you're friends with me on Facebook, my actual phone number is on my Facebook profile if you're my friend on Facebook. You can't see it if you're not. But email me, I'll give it to you anyway, and you can call me, and I'll talk you through any issues you have with it. What else? I guess that's about it. I really appreciate all you people on, let's see, Sat Tracker on your phone. Okay, you want to know what kind of... Granddad M on TikTok is asking me, what kind of Sat Tracker do I use on my phone? The best one I have come up with the guidance of the Digital Rancher Rob, K5ITR, he told me ISS, let me get the exact name so you don't make a mistake and get the wrong thing. ISS Detector. If you look at my phone, let's see if you can see. See the one that looks like a picture of the ISS? It says ISS Detector. That's what you want for the iPhone. All right? For an Android, you could use Heavens Above. Heavens Above is another program. This is the time to get those apps and start playing with them to make sure you know what you're doing. So when the time comes to get the SSTV images, you're ready. Also, if you're using an HT like the Retrievus RT3S with the OpenGD77 software, it will have the tracking information right in the radio to help you track it. So it's basically you hold up your radio with an antenna and a cell phone next to it recording what it's hearing through the apps to decode them. All right? Anybody got any other questions? Let's see. A lot of people joining, a lot of people coming. I hope you guys are following me on TikTok. And you get to see me do live ISS conversations. I've had 8 conversations with an astronaut on the International Space Station. I love it. I do it as much as I can. And it was great getting that last one on field day. And my buddy Roger, who's in the chat, KV4I, Kilo Victor 4 India, Roger got the same pass. He got a contact with the astronaut also. And he used my audio to prove it. So he was able to fill out his QSO card and send it in. So God bless you, Roger. Happy for you. I knew that the astronauts were going to be on. There was 2 of them. Nicole something or other was supposed to be on too. I never heard her. But I did get Johnny Kim. I did get him. And that's the same guy you talked to, Roger. All right. Well, on cue, the thunder has begun again. It's Florida. What can I tell you? Last night I went to sleep to the sound of thunder. How far off I sat and wondered. Started humming a song from 1964. It's funny how the night moves. Yeah, little nostalgic audio there. Anyway, that was a little Bob Seger for you. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you enjoyed that. Go back and watch it. This will be on my YouTube channel. And what will happen is I have this program that takes my live and splits it up into viral videos. So I will be spreading those individual shorts in the future over the next coming days. But remember, I'm here every Wednesday night. I missed the last 2 Wednesday nights because I wasn't feeling well. I'm not 100% yet, but I'm much, much better. And things are going really good. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. And remember what I always say, don't do anything I wouldn't do. At least not without me, all right? This is KO4 PDI. I'll be clear. 73, everybody. Catch you soon.